it is 1:01 by my watch. I'm calling the February 3rd, 2025 meeting of the Albemarle County Architectural Review Board to order. Could we call the roll, please?
Mr. Matsuno,
Here.
Mr. Henningson,
Here.
Mr. Vanderwerth,
Here.
Mr. Stoner and Mr. Hancock are absent.
All right, thank you. Today's meeting is a hybrid meeting. The public may access and participate in the meeting electronically. Instructions for doing so are posted on the Albemarle County website at the Albemarle County calendar. The public has real-time audiovisual access to this meeting over Zoom and real-time audio access over telephone, both as provided in the lawfully posted meeting notice. This meeting is being recorded and will be made available on the county's website. This meeting is a public record and subject to disclosure under the Freedom of Information Act. All speakers, when it is your turn to speak, please first state your name for the record. Applicants who are making presentations, note that your presentation is limited to a total of 15 minutes, which you can divide among your team members. Staff will let us know when the 15 minutes are up. If applicants in the meeting room have team members attending virtually who will need to present, please make that known when you come to the podium. Everyone who is participating virtually, please mute your microphone until it is your turn to speak. Do any ARB members have anything to disclose?
No.
No. All right. Are there any members of the public that want to make a comment about a project that is not on the agenda for review?
Not at this time.
All right, great. So we have one consent agenda item today, which is ARB 2024-76, Granger Development. Does any ARB member want to move the Granger application off the consent agenda?
No. None.
Me neither. So in that case, I move to approve the consent agenda. If anybody would like to second.
I'll second.
All right, if we could put that to a vote.
Second. Mr. Matsuno,
Aye.
Mr. Henningson,
Aye.
Mr. Vanderwerth.
Aye.
All right, thank you. We do not have any work sessions today. So we will move into our one and only regular review item, which is ARB 2024-59, Community Christian Academy. And Margaret, if you have the presentation.
This is a proposal to construct a modular classroom building and related site improvements at 114 Old Brook Road, which is the property at the north corner of the intersection of Old Brook and the Ryle Road entrance corridor. You reviewed this proposal in November of last year, and at that time, you provided the applicant with several comments to be addressed in this next submittal. Our review has shown that only one of those issues has not been fully addressed. That issue is related to the landscaping along the Ryle Road property line. In the previous review, it was noted that trees and shrubs added there would have more impact than trees originally shown along the proposed building. The original proposal is on the left in this slide, and the current proposal on the right shows some large shade and ornamental trees added along the Rio property line where they can be placed outside of easements. However, no shrubs have been added. So adding shrubs to fill in the row is our only recommendation for this for approval. All the other issues have been addressed, including coordinated colors, coordinating location of entrances and HVAC equipment. And part of that includes moving the equipment to the east elevation of the building, which makes it not visible from the street. And also the addition of trees along Old Brook Road. So our recommendation is for approval with the condition that shrubs be added to fill in the row along the Ryle Road property line. And just for clarification, there are easements along the property line, so it would just be where the easements allow for those additional shrubs to go. But happy to answer any questions you might have.
All right, thanks a lot. I guess we'll start with Tara, if you have any questions.
No, thank you, Margaret.
Dave?
No, thank you.
Sorry, Margaret, I don't have any questions either. So if the applicant has a presentation, now is the time.
Good afternoon, Chair Henningsen and members of the ARB. My name is Kelsey Schlein. I'm a planner with Shimp Engineering. Here with me today is my colleague Julia Moore. She's a landscape designer in our office, and also Kimberly Moore, who's the head of school for Community Christian Academy. Thank you, Margaret, for your staff report and presentation. I'll keep this brief and mostly just say that we are agreeable to staff's recommendation to add additional shrubs along Rio Road. This is just kind of a quick recap and overview of where we were previously, and I'm just going to scroll down to the landscape plan and kind of call out some of the constraints that we have. So you're looking at here, we have 2 water lines between the property and the edge of pavement for Rio Road. These are RWSA water mains. And so kind of the most restrictive easement regulations for the RWSA water mains. And so we're very limited into what we can plant and where. And so this exhibit is really just calling out that the water line in this location, the water main, is within 10 feet of the edge of pavement of the parking lot. We are not permitted to put any shrubs or trees within 10 feet of an RWSA water line, so we're constrained in that area. However, in the area where we have added landscaping along Rio, we can most certainly add shrubs in that area to complement the landscape that we've proposed in that area. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. I'll keep it brief, mostly because we have a recommendation for approval from staff, and we are agreeable to resolve that last outstanding concern. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thanks for that. I guess we'll start with Dade if you have any questions for the applicant.
I don't believe so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tara?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Kelsey, I'm sorry, I don't have any questions for you either. Yes, are there any members of the public that want to make a comment?
Not at this time.
Right, in that case, the ARB will now go into discussion. I guess we'll start with Tara, if you have any comments.
Thank you, Kelsey, for the presentation and the documentation that there are limitations to where shrubs can be planted. While it's unfortunate, I think it makes sense why the landscape plan is as it is, and I suppose it gives additional prominence to the existing main church building, which is preferable to the sort of other structures on the site. So I appreciate you taking the time to show us through the exhibit.
All right, thanks. Dave?
I appreciate the presentation, and like Taro, appreciate the rationale for the lack of shrubs in front of the church building. Appreciate the other changes in the application that I think are very responsive, and so yeah, looks good.
All right, yeah, I agree. It seems pretty straightforward, and I think we could just take a look at the recommended motion.
I've just added the words in red to clarify about the easement conflicts there. So the recommendation is for approval with the condition that shrubs be added 24 inches in height at planting where easements allow to complete the row of shrubs along the Rio Road property line.
All right, does anybody have any suggested tweaks or edits they'd like to make?
No, I don't.
All right, me either. In that case, does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve or recommend approval of ARB 2024-59 Community Christian Academy with the commission condition listed in the staff report amended as follows to include the phrase where easements allow to condition number 1.
All right, thanks. I'll second that. So if we could put that to a vote.
Mr. Matsuno,
Aye.
Mr. Henningsen,
Aye.
Mr. Vanderwerf.
Aye.
All right, thanks a lot. So we'll move on to other business. First of all, approval of the January 21st, 2025 minutes. So I'll move to adopt the January 21, 2025 minutes if someone would like to second that.
Yes, I'll second that.
All right, if we could put that to a vote.
Mr. Matsuno,
Aye.
Mr. Henningsen,
Aye.
Mr. Vanderwerf.
Aye.
All right, thanks a lot. Do any board members or staff have any additional items they'd like to talk about?
For other business, I had just one question, probably for staff. I think prompted in part by the Granger development on the consent agenda. I know the county's comprehensive plan, I think, is still underway, and the early discussions about that, we had talked about landscape, I think, is a priority and a unifying thing in the planning. And every time we see applications for development, especially next to 64 and 29, the question of planting buffers and whether there's a way that some mechanism to ultimately strengthen those might be available. And I don't know whether there's any update that staff may be aware of in terms of how the comprehensive plan is developing, if there may indeed be anything that goes to that point or not.
We do hope to bring the draft action steps to you for review, and I don't have a specific date for that yet, but it is upcoming. The list needs a little bit of editing by me before it comes to you, and I just have not gotten to that yet. So, but I do hope for it to be soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any additional items?
No, thank you.
All right. In that case, the next ARB meeting is scheduled for February 17th. I'm thinking I'll be able to be here for that. So is there one who wouldn't be able to make it?
I believe I'll be able to make it. It just differs from what's on this sheet. But that the one you stated, February 17th, is actually the Monday.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Sorry.
No, it's just a typo.
And I
Thanks,
guess
Chris.
we can check with Frank and Frank
I
via
will.
email.
Yes.
Yep, and I expect to be able to attend.
Right, okay, so in that case, this meeting is adjourned until our next meeting on Monday, February 17th, 2025. It's 1:14 by my watch. So thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.